Awakening the listener. Pause for a moment and think about how many times in life you've questioned your worth. Maybe it was after a failure, when something you worked so hard for slipped through your fingers. Maybe it was after someone rejected you, left you, or made you feel like you weren't good enough. Or maybe it was simply the voice inside your own head that whispered, "You don't matter as much as you used to." We've all felt that weight, the heavy lie that our value decreases with mistakes, age, or hardship. But I'm here to tell you that belief is false. Your value is not a number on a scoreboard that rises and falls. It is not a price tag that can be discounted. It is not a reflection of what others see or fail to see in you. Your value is inherent. It has been with you since the day you were born. And as you walk through life, something extraordinary happens. Your value multiplies with growth. Every challenge you overcome, every lesson you learn, every scar you carry adds depth, wisdom, and strength to who you are. Think about it. When gold is first found, it doesn't look impressive. It's covered in dirt, rough around the edges, and easily overlooked. But after being refined in fire, it becomes something precious and unshakably valuable. The fire doesn't reduce its worth, it reveals it. The same is true for you. Life's hardships are not meant to strip you of your value. They are meant to reveal and multiply it. We often live under the illusion that mistakes make us less, that failures disqualify us, that getting older takes away our shine. But the truth is the exact opposite. Mistakes teach us resilience. Failures sharpen our perspective. Age gifts us wisdom and experience that no amount of youth or perfection can replace. What the world may call a loss is often a seed of growth. And growth always multiplies value. Let me ask you, when you look at someone who has endured hardship and risen stronger, do you see them as less or more? Do you respect the one who has never struggled, or the one who fought through storms and still stands tall? Deep down, you know the answer. Struggle adds weight, adds power, adds substance, and every time you grow through it, your value doesn't decrease, it multiplies. So today, awaken to this truth. You are not less than you were yesterday. You are more. You carry the lessons of your past, the strength of your survival, and the wisdom of your journey. Every scar is proof that you endured. Every failure is proof that you tried. Every step forward is proof that you're still becoming. Never again let yourself believe the lie that you are losing value. Life may change you, but it doesn't diminish you. Instead, with every season, with every challenge, with every step of growth, your value multiplies. And that is where your true power begins. The illusion of losing value. One of the greatest lies we are taught to believe is that our worth can decrease. Society surrounds us with messages that tell us our value is conditional. If you are successful, you are valuable. If you are beautiful, you are valuable. If you are young, strong, and unbroken, you are valuable. But the moment you stumble, the moment you age, the moment you struggle or fail, the world whispers that you are somehow worth less. This is the illusion that traps so many hearts, keeping people small, silent, and ashamed of their own journey. Think about the way society praises perfection. Social media feeds are full of polished images and success stories. Rarely do we see the failures, the struggles, or the behind-the-scenes pain. As a result, when you face your own hardships, you might think, I must not be enough. Others are thriving, and I'm falling behind. But this is nothing more than smoke and mirrors. What you see outside is not the truth of someone's value. It is just a carefully painted picture. The illusion of losing value thrives on comparison. It convinces you that because someone else is achieving more, you are somehow worth less. It tricks you into measuring yourself against timelines that were never meant to be yours. But life is not a race, and worth is not a competition. Just because someone else is shining does not mean your light is any dimmer. This illusion also feeds on fear. Fear of aging, fear of failing, fear of changing. People are told that their prime is a fleeting moment, that with every passing year, their value diminishes. But pause for a moment and think about it deeply. Who would you rather learn from? someone who has never faced hardship, or someone who has walked through the fire and carries wisdom in their scars, true value deepens with time. It is not lost, it is multiplied. Here's the truth: your value is not fragile. It cannot be taken away by opinions, mistakes, or rejection. The illusion of losing value exists only when you place your worth in the hands of others. If you believe you are valuable only when others see it, you will forever feel insecure. But when you understand that your worth is intrinsic, unshakable, and eternal, no circumstance can reduce it. Let's take an example: a diamond. If you drop it in the mud, does it lose its value? If it is overlooked or ignored, does its worth decrease? Of course not. Its value remains the same, whether it is displayed in a crown or hidden in the ground. The same is true for you. Whether people recognize your worth or fail to see it, whether life places you in the spotlight or in the shadows, you remain priceless. The illusion of losing value will continue to appear in your life as long as you measure yourself through the wrong lens. Break free from it. Remember that no setback, no failure, no rejection, and no season of struggle can take away your true worth. What you carry inside of you is beyond measure. And as you continue to grow, that worth only expands. Growth through struggle. Struggle is something we all wish to avoid, yet it is the very soil where growth is planted. When life challenges you, it's easy to feel as if you are being punished, as if the hardship means you are less deserving, less capable, or less valuable. But in truth, struggle is the refining fire that shapes your strength, your character, and your wisdom. It does not reduce you. It enlarges you. Think about a seed buried in the ground. At first glance, it looks as though the seed has been hidden, forgotten, even suffocated by the weight of the soil. But within that darkness, something powerful is happening. The seed begins to crack open, roots push downward, and a sprout pushes upward. Without the pressure of the soil, without the struggle against darkness, the seed could never grow into the tree it was meant to be. In the same way, your struggles are not burying you. They are planting you. They are preparing you for greater strength and deeper roots. When you face hardship, you are given a choice: to break down or to break through. Many times, people believe that struggle diminishes them, but it is often the very thing that awakens hidden abilities they never knew they had. Pain forces you to dig deeper. Challenges sharpen your focus. Setbacks build your resilience. Without them, growth would be shallow and fragile. With them, growth becomes strong and lasting. Consider some of the most inspiring people in history. Their greatness did not come from an easy road. It came from struggle. Leaders, inventors, thinkers, and heroes were all shaped in the fire of hardship. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison and came out not bitter, but stronger, carrying wisdom that would transform a nation. Helen Keller, born blind and deaf, became a voice of inspiration for millions, proving that struggle does not strip away value, it multiplies it. Even in your own life. Now think about the moments that shaped you most. Were they the easy, comfortable days or the difficult seasons where you had to fight, adapt, and rise above? Struggle teaches you patience. It teaches you empathy. It teaches you to see life from a perspective that only hardship can reveal. And all of this adds to your value, making you richer in character and deeper in spirit. When you look at your scars, emotional or physical, do not see them as symbols of weakness. See them as medals of survival. Each one tells a story. You endured, you learned, you overcame. Your scars are proof that you grew stronger, not weaker. So instead of fearing struggle, begin to see it as your teacher. Every challenge you face is shaping you for something greater. Every storm is watering the soil of your soul. Every hardship is adding layers of strength and wisdom that increase your value in ways comfort never could. Remember this: diamonds are formed under pressure, gold is refined in fire, and the strongest trees grow roots in the fiercest winds. You are no different. Struggle is not the end of you, it is the birthplace of your growth. And with every battle you face, your value doesn't just remain, it multiplies. The power of perspective. Life is not simply about what happens to you. It's about how you see it. Two people can go through the same storm, but one will emerge bitter and broken, while the other will emerge wiser and stronger. The difference is not in the storm, it's in the perspective. Perspective is the lens through which you interpret your experiences, and it has the power to either limit you or liberate you. Think of perspective as a window. If your window is covered in dust, you'll see the world as dark and unclear, even when the sun is shining. But if you clean the window, suddenly the light floods in and the world looks brighter. In the same way, if you look at your life through the lens of defeat, you'll only see losses, pain, and missed opportunities. But if you shift your perspective, if you choose to see lessons instead of failures, strength instead of weakness, and growth instead of loss, you unlock the power to transform your entire story. The truth is, struggles and setbacks do not define you. Your perspective of them does. If you see hardship as a punishment, you'll shrink. If you see it as preparation, you'll rise. That one shift changes everything. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me?" This small change in perspective allows you to move from victimhood to empowerment. Perspective also helps you reframe failure. Many people look at failure as proof that they aren't good enough. But what if failure is not the opposite of success, but the pathway to it? Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. But he never called those attempts failures. He called them lessons. His perspective allowed him to keep going, and eventually, his persistence lit up the world. Another powerful aspect of perspective is gratitude. When life feels heavy, gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. It reminds you that even in the darkest moments, there is light somewhere. Gratitude doesn't ignore pain. It simply balances it with appreciation. And when you live with gratitude, your struggles begin to look less like curses and more like stepping stones that carry you forward. Perspective also protects your value from external voices. People may judge you, reject you, or underestimate you. If you adopt their perspective, you'll begin to shrink into the small box they've placed you in. But when you hold your own perspective, when you choose to see yourself as valuable, capable, and full of potential, their opinions lose their power. The greatest gift perspective gives you is freedom. The freedom to rise above circumstances, the freedom to interpret challenges in empowering ways, the freedom to keep moving forward even when life tries to hold you back. So remember this, your perspective is your power. Change the way you see, and you change the way you live. Struggles don't have to define you as broken. They can define you as resilient. Failures don't have to mean the end. They can mean the beginning of wisdom. And every season of your life, when seen with the right perspective, adds to your value instead of subtracting from it. The storms of life will come, but perspective gives you the ability to walk through the rain and still see the rainbow. And with every shift in how you see, your value doesn't just remain, it multiplies. Multiplication through experience. Every experience you go through in life, whether joyful or painful, adds something to your story. And with every new layer, your value multiplies. Too often, people look back at their past and see only mistakes, regrets, or wasted years. But the truth is, nothing you've lived through is wasted. Every season, every challenge, every moment has been shaping you, adding to the depth of who you are. Think of life like a tapestry. Up close, you may only see tangled threads, knots, and patterns that don't make sense. But when you step back, you begin to see the picture forming. A work of art that is richer and more beautiful because of every color, every twist, and every turn. Your experiences are those threads. Alone, they may look confusing or even painful. But together, they create a story of resilience, growth, and multiplied value. Experiences give you perspective that no book, no lecture, no second-hand advice can teach. When you've walked through loss, you learn compassion. When you've faced failure, you learn humility and perseverance. When you've endured rejection, you learn the power of self-worth. These are not lessons you could gain without experience, and once you've learned them, you carry them forever, enriching your character and increasing your ability to impact others. Think about the people you trust most. Are they the ones who have lived easy, perfect lives? Or are they the ones who have struggled, who have overcome, who have stories to tell? The reason we respect those with experience is because their journey has multiplied their value. They've walked through the fire and emerged with wisdom that no comfort zone could ever provide. Even your failures multiply your value. Imagine someone who has never failed. How could they understand resilience? How could they encourage you when you stumble if they've never stumbled themselves? Ves? But when you meet someone who has fallen and risen again, their story carries weight. Their words carry power because they are backed by lived truth. Your failures do not decrease your worth, they deepen it, giving you a story that can inspire others and strengthen your own spirit. Your experiences also prepare you for opportunities you may not yet see. A setback today may be the training ground for success tomorrow. A season of waiting may be the foundation for a breakthrough later. What feels like a closed door now may be equipping you with patience, skills, and wisdom for a greater door that is yet to open. Every experience, even the ones you don't understand, is contributing to your growth. And here's the beauty. As your experiences multiply, so does your ability to give. You become a source of strength for others. You can comfort someone because you know what pain feels like. You can guide someone because you've walked the path yourself. You can inspire someone because your story proves that survival, growth, and transformation are possible. Never underestimate the power of your experiences. They are not random. They are not wasted. They are multiplying your value every single day. And as long as you keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward, your story will only become richer. So embrace every part of your journey, the victories, the losses, the joys, and the tears. Each one has added something to you. Each one has multiplied your strength, your wisdom, your compassion, and your ability to shine. And that means your value, far from decreasing, is expanding beyond measure, living with the truth of multiplying value. It is one thing to hear the truth that your value multiplies with growth, but it is another thing to live it. Too many people nod their heads at inspiring words, but then return to old habits of doubt, comparison, and self-criticism. To truly live in the freedom of your multiplying value, you must shift how you think, how you speak to yourself, and how you show up in the world every single day. Living with this truth begins with awareness. Each morning, remind yourself, my value is not decreasing, it is multiplying. This mindset protects you from the trap of comparison. When you see others succeeding, instead of thinking I'm behind, you remind yourself, I am on my own path, and every step I take adds to my worth. Living in this truth means releasing the need to measure your journey against someone else's timeline. You recognize that your story is unique and your growth is personal. It also requires redefining failure. Living with the truth of multiplying value means you no longer see setbacks as proof of inadequacy, but as opportunities for expansion. When something doesn't work out, instead of shrinking in shame, you rise with resilience. You ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? That shift keeps you moving forward, even in the face of challenges. Another key part of living this truth is gratitude. When you are grateful, you see the hidden treasures in your experiences. You recognize that even the painful seasons added depth to your soul. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into sources of growth, and it transforms burdens into blessings. By practicing gratitude, you honor the multiplying value in your own life story. Living in this truth also changes how you treat yourself. Instead of criticizing your flaws or regretting your past, you begin to honor every part of your journey. You realize this. At the mistakes made you wiser, the struggles made you stronger, and the victories proved your resilience. This way of living nurtures self-compassion. And when you treat yourself with compassion, you carry yourself with confidence that radiates to others. Most importantly, living with the truth of multiplying value empowers you to give. When you know your value grows through experience, you are not afraid to share your wisdom, your story, and your encouragement with others. You understand that your scars can be someone else's roadmap, your lessons can be someone else's guidance, and your resilience can be someone else's inspiration. To live with this truth is to walk boldly into each day, knowing you are becoming more, not less. It is to silence the voices that tell you you're not enough, and to embrace the unshakable reality that your worth is eternal, growing, and unstoppable. So carry this truth with you. Every breath, every step, every lesson, every challenge is adding to your story. Your value does not fade with time. It shines brighter. It does not decrease with mistakes. It multiplies with growth. And when you live this truth, you unlock the freedom to rise higher, shine brighter, and inspire others to do the same. As we come to the close of this journey, I want you to pause and breathe in this truth one more time. Your value does not decrease. It multiplies with growth. This is not just a comforting phrase, it is a reality, a principle woven into the very fabric of life. Every experience you've lived through, every trial you've endured, every victory you've celebrated has been adding to you, not taking away. You are more today than you were yesterday, and tomorrow you will be more than you are right now. Think about all the times you believed you were less because of failure, rejection, or loss. Those were the very moments that refined you, that deepened your strength, that multiplied your wisdom. What once felt like the end was actually a beginning. What once seemed like a defeat was the seed of growth. And each time you rose, you carried something new, courage, resilience, empathy that you didn't have before. That is the power of multiplied value. Now the question is, how will you carry this truth forward? Because it is not enough to simply hear these words. You must live them. Living them means refusing to measure yourself by the standards of a shallow world. It means no longer letting mistakes define you, no longer letting age frighten you, no longer letting comparisons steal your joy. Instead, it means choosing every day to see yourself through the lens of growth, wisdom, and becoming. Your worth is not fragile. It does not fade with time or crumble under pressure. Like gold refined in fire, like diamonds formed in the deepest earth, your value is only revealed and multiplied through the challenges you endure. And the more you grow, the more you shine, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. Remember this, the people you admire most are not those who lived perfect, easy lives. They are those who struggled, fell, rose again, and carried lessons that inspire others. You too are becoming one of those people. Your story matters, your scars matter, your journey matters, and every single part of it has multiplied your value. So walk forward boldly. When you face challenges, remind yourself that they are shaping you, not breaking you. When you feel small, remind yourself that growth is happening even in silence and darkness. When you feel unworthy, remind yourself that worth is not earned. It is inherent, and it multiplies with every breath you take. The world needs the light you carry, the wisdom you've gained, the strength you've built, the compassion you've grown. It is not only for you, but for others who will find hope through your story. So rise, knowing you are more than enough. Rise, knowing your value is unshakable. Rise, knowing that with every step forward, your worth multiplies. And as you live this truth, you will not only transform your own life, you will inspire countless others to see their value too. Your value doesn't decrease, it multiplies, always.